Good afternoon, everyone. Now, today we are going to have one of the most useful medicines, but rarely being used. And this is one of the wonderful remedies known as Taraxacum officinale. This great remedy has got a very controversial usage, and it finds most of the time it finds difficulty and do not come into our mind when prescribing. Belonging to the compositive family, Taraxacum has an important and common characteristic feature that can be shared with the compositive family. Now, this wonderful yellow-looking flower, it is also known as the dandelion. Dandelion, the common and nicknamed as dandelion, it is important member for the, and you see the beautiful flowers here, and the leaves which are also green but yellow discharges. When you break the leaves, the yellowish type of the liquid comes out from the liquid. Taraxacum, the seeds, when it grows, it flies into the sky. The flower, when it ripes, it flies into the sky, and we see that it wanders and it travels around the world, around the sky in different area, and where it falls again, this plant is being born. So migration and separation and becoming cosmopolitan is one of the important phenomena for this medicine. And then you see the root, it's just like a tuberous root. It seems to be very beautiful, and it is also edible, and the leaves are also being used as a salads. Dandelion bright yellow flower, it usually open in the morning with the sun, like the sunflower, and with the first light, and close again in the evening. See, in most of the compositive family, the characteristic feature are that they comes and goes with the sun. That means rising with the sun and going away with the sun. It indicates that it has a great affinity with the sun. And dandelion is one of the most first to flower in spring and last to go and remain dormant in the winter. So when you see the spring season come, the first flower coming, you may see that it is the Taraxacum. And then again it continues till the summer, and in the winter it is sleeping in the sleeping mode. All this speaks of the dandelion is very sensitive type of medicine. Sensitivity is very important phenomena that can be activated into the different symptoms of these medicines also. So the power of the medicines can be observed into the sensitivity of these medicines. Since in astrology, the dandelion is considered as a masculine plant and is governed by Jupiter and the Sun. And at the same time, in the Ayurvedic medicines, it is associated with the Saturn, and dandelion is the element in air. Because you see the seed, they are so light and it has feathery in nature that it comes and it flies in the sky, and so it is one of the important understanding that we can think about this medicine. Dandelion are the mostly yellow in color. They are composite family, and form in all kind of the many forms and subspecies. And stems are always unbranched, completely leafless and hollow. The stems they don't have the branching. The single branch is there, and the leaves comes out, as you have seen in the plants that I have shown. And under several circumstances, the dandelion can bloom the whole year around if the situations and weather are same, because they go with the sensitivity is very important for them. So If the circumstances are favorable, they can grow and you can bloom, and they can bloom for the whole year. The flower closes in the rainy weather and in the evening and when daylight disappears. When cultivated in the dark, Taraxacum has pale leaves that can be eaten as a spices as a species of the chicory. The roasted root can be used as a coffee substitute. The taste is very much similar to the coffee. They are also used as a tonic in hair lotion. The above ground leaf rosette is the ground leaf is rosette in color state, and so it functions as a receptacle for the rainwater so that it can be utilized by the tap root which goes directly downward. Plants are mostly a familiar name, dandelion. Dandelion, it is a corrupt word coming from the French, dent de lion. Dent de lion. It is the dent de lion has been corrupted as a dandelion, and it is dent means teeth of the lion. That's why it's because the fanciful resemblance of the canine teeth of the lion. So it has been named as dandelion. And leaves are shiny without hairs. The margin of each leaf is cut into great jagged teeth, either upright or pointing somewhat backward, and these teeth are themselves cut here and there into the lesser teeth. Plant most familiar name is dandelion, which is I told you that it is the dent de leon. An equivalent to name has been found not only in formal species Latin name Dense leonis, and the Greek name for the genus which Linnaeus assigned is Leontodon, but also in nearly all the language of the Europe. So everywhere the leaves character, which are the margins which are like the teeth, canine teeth, yeah, and related to the lion teeth, this name has come as a leon, that means dandelion. And the name Taraxacum, it is a Greek word, taraxis. Taraxis means the eye disease and alkoi means to heal. In the Middle Age, the eye disease against which Taraxacum was used, that's why it is called Taraxis. The name is also believed to derive from Taraxacum, the name used by the Arab for the blue flowering chicory species, which is doubtful since dandelion has yellow flower. So different names are there, different regions, they have the different meaning for putting the name like this. Taraxacum is a good example which can change with the season. With the changing season, you can see the different changes in the whole life of this plant. Before blossoming, the root has a sweetish bitter taste, while after blossoming, the bitter taste is dominant. Before blossoming, it is sweetish, bitter taste, and after blossoming, the taste becomes more bitter. The leaf is bitterest in the early spring. The root contains most mineral in spring, particularly potassium, calcium, and sodium, and also magnesium, silicea, phosphorus, manganese, copper, and the iron. The leaves have the highest vitamin A and contains all greens as well as ample amount of vitamin D, B complex, and C. The sodium content is high even if the plant is not grown in soil. If the soil contains a relatively large amount of zinc or aluminum, the Taraxacum can absorb it. The plant constituents are greatly dependent on its location. It is mainly found in greasy clay soils. It is more rare on poor sandy soil, and earthworm like the soil around the dandelion for this plant is a neutral humus producer. If dandelion could not grow, there would be no lawn. Even if they grow in thick patches, they are not in competitions to grasses because of 3 foot deep roots. The dandelion transport the mineral, especially calcium, upward from the deeper layer, even the underneath the hard pan, which it penetrates and deposits them nearer the surface. Taraxacum heals with what the soil has lost, what has been washed downward. Taraxacum can restore the process and bring a sense of the completeness. When dandelion dies, the root channels act like elevator shafts for the earthworm. What the earthworm as an animal does to the soil, the dandelion as a plant does. So the work of the earthworm that it makes the soil very porous, it is like that. It takes care of the vertical drainage on pasture as long as humans do not get active upon and do it themselves. French have often called the plant insulate, politely translatable as wetting the bed wetting, because it is believed that children that eating or even picking the flower would cause them to wet their bed in the night. The bedwetting belief may have been connected with the fact that since the Middle Age, the root was used as a diuretic in the treatment of liver and kidney disorders. And dandelion leaves have confirmed diuretic uh, activity. In one study, in mice, dandelion exerted a diuretic activity comparable to the furosemide lactic. Dandelion extracts were used to successfully treat hepatitis, swelling of the liver, jaundice, and dyspepsia with deficient bile secretion. Dandelion gentle effects on the liver, particularly its lipotropic effect, may be put good use in the treatment of premenstrual syndrome. And decreased clearance of estrogen and the other hormone by the liver is believed to be responsible for some symptoms in the some women. If dandelion can improve the liver ability to detoxify, these hormone symptoms may likewise be improved. It was introduced into homeopathy by Dr. Hahnemann himself who proved it on 6%. In 1955, it was proved by Pistel on 8%, and Gutmann in 1956 proved on 6%, and then in 1994 proved by Garnier on 18%. And it is comparable to the pulsatilla, rustox, sepia, sulfur, lycopodium, menentes, and rhododendron. The main region where the effect of these medicines can be observed are the liver, stomach, joint, muscles, and right side of the body. So when occupied, they are sun's lever, but after beginning works well, anxiety while sitting ameliorate, sitting while motions ameliorate. So they have the adaptability with the time and the situation. This is important thing for us. It has got the polarity of the symptoms. Sensation of distance, isolation, indifference, separated from the outside world, and overwhelming emotions deeply moved by and sympathetic with the other. They have unfounded worry. Three provers suffered an unfounded worry about their health without fear. However, sudden fear of cancer of the uterus when menstruation appeared early, fear of all that would bring up, but no fear of the death. They are the irresolutions. They cannot take the decisions. and especially irresolutions and dislike to labor, loquacity and inclinations to life. So this is very difficult for them to take the resolution. They have fear of heart attack despite being cheerful and full of humorous sarcasm. Think of serious illness with minor disorders despite being carefree. The positive qualities are also there. You can see they are dynamic, effortless, and energy. They are lively, activity balanced with the inner case, ease. Then patterns of imbalance, overly tense, especially in the musculature of the body, over striving and hard driving person. The soul needs ganglion essence feels a natural intensity of love for life. Such individuals are compulsive doers when enter with great zeal and zest into the many activities. They can overplan and overform their lives beyond the natural capacity of the body to sustain their in such intensity. Now, most of the problem are on the right side, headache, right eye, and the right arm. And at the same time, they have got the polarity like the left side and the right side, peculiar coldness of the right side and heat of the left side. So alternating, this is peculiarity that you can see. One side in one way and other side in another way. And they have the tendency to move downward. Sensation as if corner of mouth were drawn downward. Delusion of going downward when walking on a flat road. Sensation of warmth extending from above downward. Delusion that vital force is leaving the body from the downward. So it is the downward tendency is very important. And the patients are very tired, leaden heaviness, involuntary closure of the eye, could sleep standing also. And they are very chilly patients. What aggravates is the indoor air, desire for open air, chilliness after eating and drinking. Profuse perspiration, especially at night when just going to sleep. Heat at night on waking, especially on face and the head. And they are aggravated by the rich food and rich fats. They get nausea with inclinations to vomit or vomiting, and anxiety and pressure, headache and aggravated by open air. They have aggravations by the sour vinegar and bitter beer. They are aggravated by the fasting and but ameliorated by the breakfast. After breakfast, they feel better, but fasting in the lunch or dinner, they is bad. They are aggravate, rest, lying ameliorate, and rising up ameliorate motions. The rest is very important phenomena for this medicine. And there are ameliorations of the affected part. So almost all symptoms appear when the patient is seated and are dissipated by walking. Sleepiness while reading during the day, his eyes closed so that he really must lie down, but on moving about, the sleepiness disappears. Controversial symptoms you can see in this medicine. They are very restless patients. The Taraxacum should also be borne in mind. Dr. Bonifson says that Dr. Farrington says that Boniface's son was taken with typhoid fever and was attended by his father. Among his symptoms was restlessness. I mentioned a characteristic of thought, yet that remedy was not given. Looking upon the Mathematica, Boniface found that Taraxacum had the same restlessness of the limb with tearing pain, and in addition, it has one symptom which was present in his son's case, namely the mapped tongue. He gave Taraxacum with prompt relief. So restlessness is one of the important characteristics. And aggravated by smoking, burning pain in the throat and heartburn and perspirations are there. Tingling and formications and numbness are dominating in every part of the body. And pain of the pressing nature, stitching nature, is a dull and pressing. Many particular symptoms can be observed: headache, Heaviness and pressure deep down in occiput aggravate raising up and keeping the head straight, ameliorate stooping and redness of the face. Right side headache from right side occiput to right eye, above right eye, right temple, pain dull and pressing. Very important particular are the map tongue. The tongue is covered with the white skin with raw feeling in it, then exfoliate in passage and leaves dark red tender, very sensitive, as observed by Dr. Henneman, and increased salivations and bitter or sour taste in mouth and chewing, and increased salivations and metallic taste in mouth with the bleeding gums. This was observed by the coroner. Then sensation as if bubbling in hypogastrium which bursts. Painless urging to urinate, copious discharges of urine. This is the first effect of eating dandelions and the reason that the French people call them pisse et lit, pee in bed, urinating in the bed. Heavy sensation in leg, ameliorate walking, leaden heaviness in leg in the morning. Tips of finger, icy cold, a very important keynote. This is analog of the flower which closes between 8 and 9 p.m. The complaints are worse at night. The nose and fingertips become cold at around 8 p.m. So this is very important things that you can observe. See, in homeopathy, this type of the minute observations are very helpful and proves to be very miraculous when applied. The patients have got great aversion for the tobacco, but they desire coffee, food, juice, and sweets, and they are aggravated by fat and rich food, butter, bitter drinks, fruit, pork, sour, sweets, and tobacco. So they are worse by the resting, lying down and sitting, and better by the touch. So healing way of dandelion spreads as quickly as it keeps parachute in the wind. The Chinese were the first to describe dandelion medicinal virtue in purifying the blood and increasing the immune system. By the 11th century, Arabic culture were shared its use to treat troubles of the liver and kidney. Soon all of Europe was using dandelion in their kitchen and storing it in their medicine cabinet. Dandelion were called the fairy clock because their flower opened and closed predictably. So this is very important understandings that we can see in this medicine, and most of the things are that you have the very minute observations will make it the distinguishable use of this medicine in your clinic. So thank you very much, and if you have any questions, you can ask me on my email ID and rizgth@gmail.com, or you can have it chatting on the WhatsApp 9431020622, or you can watch this video again on my channel, Dr. Mridul Kumar. And thank you very much.